I'm going to tell you the truth. What makes you unattractive to high value women? And I'm going to tell you something that I personally have been doing and something that I've been explaining to my women clients, and they're like, you know what, I'm on board. So pay attention to this because it can really change the type of quality of women that you attract. So here's a bit of a disclaimer. Most of the time, it's so easy for us to bitch about the people that we date, the people we've been in relationship with, about the opposite sex. It's so easy for us to bitch about all these things. But most of the time, we are attracting either who we are, what we haven't dealt with, or we're just dealing with the residual of what we've overcome. But it's really up to us to stand in our power, to have solid boundaries, to go, I'm not gonna tolerate any BS any longer. And so when you have that kind of heart posture, it takes you out of the blame game. It removes you from being a victim of dating and relationships, and it puts you in the driver's seat. And I don't know about you, but I like being in the driver's seat. I like feeling like I am the champion of my life. I'm the hero of my life. I'm the winner of my life. I'm in the driver's seat of my life. So if that's you and you're like, yes, I want to make that switch. I don't want to keep attracting people into my life who make me feel like crap or who treat me like crap or just carry around a bunch of crap. Arica, I'm ready to make a change. Then let me tell you, you want to pay attention to this video. And I'll tell you a classic line I've coined at the end of this video, and you can tell me if it makes sense for you, and you can use it in your life as well. So let's just talk about like what a high value woman is, and do you even want this kind of woman? Because here's the thing, not everyone wants a high value woman. Some guys are really comfortable with women who remain the victims so that they feel like they have something that they're in charge of, like, oh, I can help her. Like, she doesn't know I can't even help myself in these areas, but she'll eventually figure it out when she sees the messes in your life. You're like, yeah, I just want someone who's underneath me so that I can constantly fix them so that I don't have to worry about the shit in my own life that I'm not addressing. Then a high value woman is not going to be the woman for you, because a high value woman, she's going to hold you accountable. She's going to hold a mirror back to your life. I'll never forget someone telling me, they said, Arica, being in a relationship with you is incredibly difficult. And I was like, ouch, okay, that's okay. Tell me more. And they said, no, because you stand in your value, you stand in your integrity, and you hold a mirror back to other people's lives. And that's not always easy for a lot of people to see what's on the other side of that mirror. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. But I'm always committed to growing and developing. And just that's the same case with a high value woman. She's always going up. She's always accelerating in her life. She's always exploring what else she can become. So when you are a guy who you are the constant victim, or you're the guy that you don't hold yourself accountable. It was like, oh, everything was my ex-wife's problem. Everything, the last girlfriend, she was just so much drama. She was so much chaos. These are all indications of a man who's not responsible in his life, who's not accountable for his life. He's just a guy that he has played the card that a lot of men have played when they've just thrown women under the blanket of, she's crazy. And what does she's crazy mean? I didn't have the tools to make that relationship work. So inherently, I feel like I failed, but I don't want to admit that to you. So I'm going to blame it on her and her craziness. A high value woman, if you are blaming, if you're constantly in a victim mindset, this is a real turnoff to her. Also, if you're constantly talking about your accomplishments, but you're not divulging like who you actually are as a person, this is a really big turnoff. It's like, oh, I'm so successful here. I've accumulated this stuff. I have a house. I have these cars. I have all these things. But she doesn't actually know who you are. This is a big red flag. And it's actually really unattractive because it shows a high value woman who most of the time, a high value woman is going to be extremely emotionally intelligent and connected because she's been doing the work to make herself of high value. So she's not only, succeeding in life when it comes to monetary or her career, but also physically she is of high value. Like, she takes care of herself. But it's more than that. It's a mental and a spiritual thing. It's an emotional thing. She is taking care of herself in all capacities. And so when she sees that you're lacking in those things and you haven't developed those things, you become really unattractive, because what you tell her is that you are going to be, I'm going to say it, you're going to be dead weight in her life. And just like you don't want a girl with, or a woman with crazy drama, a woman doesn't want dead weight in her life. And a guy who is not doing the work on himself is a man who is carrying dead weight. You become a burden to her. You exhaust her. You cause her, you take away her peace. You take away her emotional peace. You pick at her resilience. You frustrate her. All of this is dead weight. This is all energy that she could be using to pour into her vision or her mission or bettering herself. But because you refuse to resolve things in your own life, maybe inner child wounds, maybe things from your past that you've never confronted, all of those things then become her problem. And so all those things that once made you attractive, the root, the things that are going on underneath your successes, all of a sudden become burdens and problems in her life. And that makes you obviously very unattractive. When someone's on a mission and you're weighing them down because you haven't addressed your trauma, you haven't done any inner work, you're not emotionally intelligent, in fact, you're emotionally stunted, this is nothing but dead weight and headaches for a woman. So one thing that I'm really encouraging women, and when I say this, they're like, yes, if you could help me find a guy like that, Arica, I would be on board. And it's a man who's doing his inner work. That is the solution, because women are now expected to pay the way for themselves. So it's like, what do you bring to the table as a man? If she's already paving the way for herself, what value can you bring? It's the value that men have not cultivated that you can get on right now, which is doing your inner work. And it's like, I am encouraging my women clients to say, like, ask a man, has he been in therapy? If he says, no, I'm open to it, no. You want a man who's doing the work now, who's watching the YouTube videos like you're doing, who's doing the coaching, who's in therapy. You want a man who's doing the work. This is the tagline I've been saying to my female clients. You don't want a man with baby mama trauma. And you know, like everyone's always said, oh, I don't want a woman with daddy issues. Well, women, we don't want men with baby mama trauma. And what is that saying? We all, to some degree, have some form of trauma. But what makes a person a high value is when they are addressing that within themselves. Doesn't mean that when you get in a relationship that things won't come up. Of course they will, because the full integration of healing doesn't actually occur until we're in actual relationship with one another. That's a whole other video that I can dive into. If you want me to, tell me in the comment section, like, what was that, Arica? That's a big topic. It is a big topic. If you want to know more about it, tell me in the comment section. But at the end of the day, what's going to make you attractive to a high value woman is not only just having your shit together externally, but that you're actually addressing the things inside of you, that you're realizing that that carries significant value, significant weightiness. And instead of complaining about life and complaining about the people that you attract, that you're actually being the agent of change in your life, and you're doing something about it by facing yourself in the mirror and being accountable. Listen, if this spoke to you, make sure that you subscribe, like this video. It will help me out tremendously. But I want to know in the comment section, what part, this is a pretty meaty video, what part of this spoke to you? What part of it really championed you to go, okay, this has to change, Arica, and the change starts with me. I would love to hear in the comment section. But my darling, listen, we all have come from shit. We've all gone through hard things. What makes you the hero of your life, what makes you the emotional warrior, is when you quit burying those things and running from them and you start addressing them head on. This is what makes you the actual champion of your world, your relationship, and in your woman's eyes. And if you need my help, go to my website for coaching. Here is another video to support you. You've got this. You're loved. Now let's roll up those sleeves and let's get to work. I'll see you in my next video.